Hey guys, Mick from DM here. Looking at the next stage of our LEATT reviews. So the next piece of equipment that I really started using from LEATT was a helmet. This is their Enduro 4. It's actually a convertible helmet. So I'd always questioned the concepts of convertible helmets a bit. Most of the ones I'd seen in the past were either pretty flimsy design, and you hear the horror stories about them not really being strong enough and not really being able to take impacts. Or some of the stronger ones were just really heavy and not very well vented. So I'd really kind of avoided them, and I've always tended to have multiple helmets. Now, switching across to this, I've been really impressed with the quality of the helmet. So it feels really solid. You can check all the specs online. It does pass the appropriate international downhill rating for strength, so it has been downhill tested. Now in Australia, if you're racing downhill at a sort of national level, you're not allowed to use a detachable chin piece helmet, so that is an issue. You may need a full face, a downhill full face, and I'd probably prefer to do that if I was racing downhill. But certainly for enduro riding, general day-to-day riding, I'm more than happy with this. Now, I can't say I've tested it from a crash point of view, hoping not to for a while, but it's certainly one of the most solid helmets I've felt. The weight is pretty similar to the equivalents like the Pro frames, things like that. The ventilation is at least as good, and so it's actually a really comfortable helmet. Few really cool features with the LEATT helmets. The visor is click adjustable, so it does go up and down, which is handy. They've got these cool little rubber bits on the inside that will take your glasses. So if you're putting sunnies on, you can actually sit them through here, and it grips them really well so they don't come off. A bit bright here, I think I'll put them back on. Ventilation, obviously huge. And the chin piece is fairly simple to remove. There's a clip on each side, and there's quite a solid indented piece that goes into the helmet. Not sure how well you can see that on the video. So they pop out, and it unhinges and comes off. So this piece is actually quite solid, and when it links onto the helmet, it's really firmly attached to the helmet. This leaves you with a half lid that has, once again, fairly good protection down around the back of your head. There's an adjuster at the back. It's got fidlock buckles, all of the good bits. And from a fit point of view, it sits really well. So nice and low, good coverage right down your head, and really cool and vented. I find the big vents in the front really good. I get a lot of airflow through the front of the helmet, and it works really well. One of the other key features, which is one of the things I do like about LEATT, they are fundamentally a pretty geeky sort of company. Rather than just jumping on the bandwagon with everybody else, they tend to try and invent things that are good from a safety point of view. So rather than running nips in these, they run their own turbine system. So it's not sure how well you can see it on the video, but there's these little round blue things that provide some squish and movement. The website's got a whole pile of information about there as to its testing and how it works. Basically, the idea of this is to work in a similar fashion to MIPS in that it reduces rotational movement of the helmet, which is better from a concussion point of view. The reality is, most helmets, their main job is to stop you from smashing your head open. Concussion is caused by your brain moving inside your head. So rotational movement is actually sometimes worse, because if the brain rotates, it can disconnect and create tearing on the sides of the blood vessels. Otherwise, it sort of tends to bounce around, and that's what concussion's caused by. Now, you can't completely stop that, but by how the helmet crumples, how it moves on your head, you can reduce concussion to some extent. Shooting this in the Australian summer, we have flies. So yeah, super comfortable helmet. I'm finding the convertibles really handy. For me, with my day-to-day riding and coaching, Quite often I'll go out with a group of beginners. I don't really want to be wearing a full face helmet. I find that's intimidating for people. So I'll ride in my half lid, and I can come back from a session and then go out on something more advanced, put the chin piece on. Quite often I'll just carry the chin piece around in my bag. I do a lot of supervision of our instruction here, and so I can ride around in my half lid, and if I find a group where I need to be doing some harder things or I want to do something harder, I can plug the chin piece on. So it is quite versatile, really comfortable, super quick to take the chin piece off and on, and yeah, generally a great value helmet. In Australia, I think they retail for just under the $400, which is very compatible in price for anything else. In fact, it's cheaper than some of the other similar helmets on the market from other brands. So I've been really, really impressed with it. I've been using this one for about 6 months now, and it's definitely one of the favourite helmets that I've ever owned. So yeah, something worth considering if you're out buying a new helmet. One of the other advantages is you do get the 2-in-1, so it is significantly cheaper to buy a single helmet with a detachable chin piece than it is to have to go and buy 2 helmets, and it's one thing to carry around, so there's definitely some advantages there. Hopefully this is useful, guys. We'll continue to make more of these reviews as time goes on, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you out on the trails.